Good morning, children. How are you all? In the last class, you learned about the leaf, its structure, different types of leaves, functions of leaves, venation, and the arrangement of leaf on the leaf lamina. I hope that you all have drawn the structure of a leaf in your notebook. Did you all draw? Okay. Today, let us study about the modifications of leaves. Modifications of leaves. What do you mean by modification? Before learning about the modification, you have to remember what are the functions of the leaf that you learned in the last class. The two main functions of the leaf are photosynthesis and transpiration. I am not explaining that. Photosynthesis, you know, by the process by which leaf prepare the food. Transpiration also giving out the water from the leaf surface. So, besides these two functions, the leaves are structurally modified to perform certain other functions. This is called modification. So modification means besides the normal functions of the leaf, it is modified or it has to do some other functions. So we can see some structural modification in leaves to perform some other functions. That is called modification. Mainly there are three types of modifications found in leaves. They are leaf tendril. First one, leaf tendril. Second one, leaf spine. Leaf spines. And the third one, scale leaves. Scale leaves. These are the three modifications: leaf tendril, leaf spines, and the scale leaves. Let us study one by one. First one is the leaf tendril. You might have seen in some plants like climbers and creepers, there will be some coiled structure, spirally coiled structure to coil around the support. When they touch a support, when they touch any other plant or any branch of a plant, they coil around it and they provide support. So this is called tendril. Here is the picture of a plant with a leaf tendril. Look at this picture. Here you can see in this plant, this is the sweet pea. In this you can see near the leaf arise a coiled structure. This coiled structure helps the plant to support on other plant. This virally coiled structure is called tendril. So tendrils help the plant to climb on other plant, to give support while climbing on other plant. So this type of modification is found in sweet pea. You might have seen some coiled or spirally coiled structure growing on some other plants like ivy gourd and this passion fruit. Here this is the stem of a passion fruit. Here you can see a spirally coiled structure. This is not the leaf tendril, this is the stem tendril. And like that, ivy gourd. Do you know what is ivy gourd? Ivy gourd means what is say in Malayalam, kovaka. In this, here you can see a tendril. But it is not the leaf tendril, this is the stem tendril. That is the difference between stem tendril and leaf tendril. In leaf tendril, a part of the leaf is modified into a spirally coiled structure. That is called leaf tendril. As in another plant that is called a glory lily. Here in this plant, here a part of the leaf, the tip of the leaf is spirally coiled. Can you see this? Here you can see the tip, apex of the leaf is spirally coiled. Why it is coiled like this? To climb on other plant. This coiled structure is called tendril. So this tendril help the plant to give support while climbing on other plant. That is one of the modifications of the leaf. Then the second modification is leaf spines. In some plants, the leaves are modified into spines. Can you give an example for that? Anybody in the class? Okay. Cactus. You know, you have studied about the adaptations in cactus plant. In that stem store the water. Stem becomes fleshy. And what about the leaves in that plant? The leaves are modified into spines. For example, one example, it is here you can see a plant in cactus family. This plant is called opentia. This is the opentia. Here, this green fleshy part is actually the stem. It is fleshy because it stores the water in this. It is green because it contains chlorophyll. And this part prepares the food. And here you can see some spine-like small structures. Actually, they are the modified leaves. The leaves are modified to spines. Why do the leaves are modified to spines? To reduce the loss of water from the plant. What is the term for loss of water? Transpiration. So, in this plant, opentia and prickly poppy, another plant, in that the leaves are modified to spines to reduce the surface area. Thus, it can reduce the transpiration from the plant. Okay, that is one of the modifications, leaf spine. You have to study the functions of modifications. First one, tendril, to support, to give support while climbing on other plant. Second one, spines, to reduce transpiration. It has one more function. Because of having these spines on this stem, it will not be eaten by the grazing animals. So, the spines help this plant to protect from grazing animals and also to prevent the excessive loss of water from the plant. Okay. Then the third modification of the leaf is scale leaves. Scale leaves. In some plants, the leaves become fleshy and scaly, as in onion. Onion, you know, it is a modified, the aerial part of the plant itself is modified. In an onion, you can see here actually this is the modified part, and here actually the roots are here, and in this onion you can see there are many fleshy leaves. In these fleshy leaves, actually each layer of the onion, here you can see each fleshy layer of the onion stores the food in it, and also to protect the bud growing inside. In the center, when you cut an onion into two pieces, in the center you can see a small white portion. That is the growing bud. From that growing bud, that give rise to new plant. So to protect the growing bud inside, the leaves become scaly and fleshy to store food in that. So these are the three types of modifications found in leaves. Leaf tendril, first one. Second one, leaf spines. Third one, scale leaves. Their function, leaf tendril to give support while climbing on other plant. Leaf spines to reduce the loss of water and also to protect the plant from grazing animals. Then scale leaves to store the food and also to protect the growing bud. That's all about the modifications of leaves. In some other plants, there is few more modifications you can see. They are called insectivorous plants. What do you mean by insectivorous plant? Insectivorous, just like carnivorous, insectivorous. Insect-eating plants are called insectivorous plants. Why do they eat insects? They cannot prepare the food? Yes, they can prepare the food. They are green plants. Like other plants, they also can prepare the food. Then why they trap the insects? Why they eat the insects? They are not growing in all the type of soil. They are growing only in special type of soil. In that soil, nitrogen content is very less. So to meet the nitrogen demand or to get the nitrogen, they trap insects. And that insect is digested in the plant itself, in the leaf. And then they can use the nitrogen present in the insects. So that is why they trap the insects. So insect eating plants are called insectivorous plants. You might have heard about it. And the three main insectivorous plants found in the different parts of our country are pitcher plant. First one, pitcher plant. Pitcher. The spelling is somewhat different. Pitcher. Pitcher plant. First one. Second one, Venus flytrap. Venus flytrap. And the third one, bladderwort. So the three types of insectivorous plant. Pitcher plant. Pitcher plant, Venus flytrap, and the bladderwort. In these three plants, the leaves are modified into some structures to trap the insects. Let us see what are the type of modifications found in the insectivorous plants. How the pitcher plant, what a special feature you can see in pitcher plant. In a pitcher plant, the leaf is modified into a pitcher-like structure. What do you mean by pitcher? Pitcher means something like a bottle. So that a pitcher-like structure. And in that, the apex of the leaf lamina is modified into a pitcher, and the apex of the leaf is modified into a lid of the pitcher. And then when an insect sits on the pitcher, it traps. The lid closes automatically and the insect is trapped inside. And then it secretes a digestive juice, and with the help of that, it can be digested. So that is the pitcher plant. Then Venus flytrap. And the other one, and these three, I will show you an animation, then you can understand it.
Some plants grow in infertile soil, deprived of nitrogen, which is essential for protein formation and growth. Such plants trap and digest insects for their protein requirement. These plants are called insectivorous plants. For example, pitcher plant, bladderwort, and Venus flytrap. Pitcher plant. The leaf is modified into a pitcher to trap insects. The anterior part of the petiole is coiled like a tendril that holds the pitcher in an erect position. The leaf apex forms the leaf. Once the insect enters in the pitcher through the opening, it slips downwards and the lid closes. The insect is digested by the various enzymes or juices. Bladderwort. The leaves are highly segmented and modified into sacs called bladders. The bladder has a trap door in which minute organisms can only go in but cannot come out. It is seen in an aquatic plant, Utricularia. Venus flytrap. In this, the edge of the leaf have long pointed, stiff hair. The leaf blade is divided into two parts, and the midrib acts as a hinge. When any insect is caught by the leaf, the edges of the leaf interlock. This prevents the escape of the insect. The plant secretes juices which digests the insect.
Next topic is the vegetative propagation. Vegetative parts of the plant. Usually, how do plants produce the new plants? By germinating the seeds. The fruits and seeds help to produce the new plants. But do you think all the plants produce the fruits and seeds? No, some plants do not produce the fruits and seeds. Then how do they reproduce or how do they produce the new plants? With the help of stem or root. In some plants, the leaf helps to produce the new plants. The reproduction takes place in plants with the help of leaves. That is, any other parts of the plant. Any parts of the plant other than the seed can give rise to a new plant. That method is called vegetative propagation. So vegetative propagation means propagate the new plant, produce the new plant from any other parts of the plant than the seeds is called vegetative propagation. The stem give rise to new plant, as in tapioca, rose. We all plant the stem in the soil. We put the stem in the soil, then it grows into a new plant. And in some plants we put the roots. Root give rise to new plant. But in some plants, the leaves give rise to new plant. So vegetative propagation through leaves. That is our topic. This type of vegetative propagation found in only two plants. Usually they are bryophyllum. I think you have studied this last year. In bryophyllum, here is a leaf. You can see the bryophyllum leaf. In this, from the sides of the leaves arise many buds. That buds grow into a new plant. So the bryophyllum, the leaf is modified, or we can say the leaf give rise to new plant. Some buds are growing on the notches of the leaf. That means this part. And then that will grow into a new plant. So like that, bryophyllum. And another one is begonia. That also one plant, begonia. The leaf produce the new plants. So that you studied last year about bryophyllum. So one more example is given in your textbook, that is a begonia. So here the leaf produce the new plant. Or the leaf modification is, or the new plant is formed from the leaf, from the sides of the leaf. That is bryophyllum. Okay, and then that plant grow into a new plant. Okay, that's all about that chapter. The leaf structure, functions of leaf, modifications of leaves, type of venation found in the leaves, arrangement of leaves, then the different types of the simple and compound, all that topics finished. So study well, draw the diagrams in the notebook. I will give you the question answers later.